Joe Gaming Zeta presents First Turns. What's up, lords and ladies, and welcome to another episode of First Turns. I'm your host, Joshua Hill, and today we're going to be looking at Season 2, the finale. And for y'all people who don't know, this is Joe Gamer Zeta, the place for Game Joe games and only in Game Joe games. Since I skipped that in my intro, we're just going to go ahead and put it right there. You know, let's give a little tag to our own channel. All right there. Anyways, we're going to be talking about the top fives of this season, the promising fives of this season, a little bit of chat information, and a few statistics. So let's get into it, shall we? All right, starting things off, we're going to be looking at a few statistics today. The first thing we're going to be looking at is our most liked and most popular video of the season, but here's a little trick. They're both the same thing. That's right, we had actually the most popular and most liked be the same video this time, so that made that category really easy. We're looking at No Escaping Fate, playing the Delusional Knight, which actually had 15 views and 4 likes. So thank you guys for coming by and looking at that playthrough. That was actually a pretty fun game. It was kind of simple once I figured it out, but it was kind of tricky up until that point. So it was pretty fun. And thank you guys for liking it and stuff like that. I'm sure the developer appreciates it as well. We are going to be moving on. Okay, we're going to be adding something new to the channel. This category is for the most community that our video receives. Basically, that means the most people who talk on it. So today's winner is actually Enter Chaos, where I play Hands of Chaos, and we had 6 comments. So that was amazing. Thank you guys for taking the time to talk to me. I got back in touch with y'all as best I could, and really enjoyed the little conversation. I enjoyed this community. This is what this is all about, is building a community. So thank you. Thank you for coming by and talking about the game, talking about things about the video and stuff like that. So I really appreciate that. And now for our final bit of this section, we're going to be talking about the most interesting reply that I received. Now what this section basically is that it's a reply that made me say, ooh, well, that's interesting. Now I have a lot of replies that do it, but I usually choose like the one that makes me like literally stop and think that's fascinating that they put it like that. So the top one was actually from Panda Yo, and it was on the video Rage of the Panda. It was me playing his Don't Die game. And it says, thank you for playing the game. Hope you had a good rage. P.S. It's Panda Yo, because I said his name completely wrong, so he had to correct me on that. He also added, be sure to download the latest version 1.2.0. I fixed the low brightness issue, so I'm going to have to go by and check that out and see how much better the game got. So anyways, let's move on. Okay, now we are looking at the most promising 5 games that we had this season. Now, these games are the games that I see the most promise in when they're coming out, when they're done. They're games that are not completely finished, but I'm seeing them to be developed. I see that they have great potential for being a great game. And with that in mind, the decisions for this season were very difficult because I enjoyed a lot of the games that I played. So if a game doesn't make it, that doesn't mean I didn't like it. These are just my personal beliefs about what the most promising games are for this season. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number 5, Hands of Chaos. This seems like a promising turn-based RPG game. The story is that you have no memory of who you are and find yourself in a field in the middle of nowhere. Right before this happens, a party of 4 are fighting against Chaos Incarnate and don't appear to be doing too well. Without reason, however, the leader of the group is teleported away from the battle, where you meet him near his home. After introductions, you agree to help him find his missing party, and your quest begins. The game looks like it has a lot planned from what I could see of the world. Sadly, however, a glitch in the version I was playing made it where I couldn't progress in the story. The developer says they are working on a new version, so hopefully I'll be able to take another shot at it soon. Number 4, Empty Vessel. Imagine waking up after 40 years of being dead. Now imagine that the world is overrun by zombies. Well, that's pretty much the story of this first-person apocalyptic shooter. You play the role of a military officer who was fighting and got killed in World War II. What you wake up to is literal hell on earth, and you set out to find any form of civilization and any answer about what happened. I must say that as far as first person games go on Game Jolt, this one is one of the best ones I've found in a while. Graphics are beautiful and mechanics handle well. I had one instance of losing control of my character and a magic zombie that disappeared in a closed building, but other than that, it was a pretty fun experience. To be honest, the magic zombie made it so much better. Number 3. Don't die. The concept of this game is simple enough. Don't land on anything other than the blocks or Pan Pan dies. When I say simple, I definitely don't mean easy. This game is built with the intention of being a rage game, and boy, does it bring the pain for our little panda hero. The artwork in the game is nice, though it's a bit hard to see from the brightness. However, the creator of Pandayo said they fixed this in the most recent release. The controls handle well, except for an annoying double jump that happens if you hold up right after landing. The only thing I would recommend for the game is a death counter and maybe a leaderboard to see how far you survived. Number 2. The Six Faces of Horror. A young No-Face Jr. is tasked with scaring all the children with scary masks that you have to make. By young, I mean you're 37 years old. How long do these guys live? Anyways, this game kind of spins everything around and makes you the monster who has to scare the children with the mask you learn to make from the Book of Masks. Each mask can scare a different type of child and must be built from different pieces. It requires strategy, of course, because kids can break the mask you make, making you have to make a new one from scratch if you're not careful. Though I only made it through the first 3 levels, the game looks promising and engaging, and I can't wait to see what happens to it in the future. Number 1. Larissa Code. This game seems to be about hacking the very game itself to progress. Your main character has the power to rewrite the very code of the game world by being able to mess with functions of objects and rewriting them. She also has a little helper that scarily jumps out of her open neck to reach out of reach locations. I wasn't sure what to make of it the first time it happened, but she sure scared the poop out of me. The game works really well with the control of each character being fluid, and the artwork is quite lovely. I was only able to make it past the tutorial, so I don't know about the story, but they promise more in the future, and with my hands-on experience, that's one promise I am eagerly awaiting being kept. Okay, and that brings us into the final part that y'all probably been waiting for. This is the top 5 games for the whole season. These are the games that I thought were the best plays, the ones that I really enjoyed the most. Like I said before, these are not because I didn't like any of the other games. This was simply because these are my personal favorites of this season. So here you go, the top 5 of season 2. Number 5, Passion. As far as side-scrolling adventures go, this one's actually pretty fun. It has a mix of everything that you could want, well-balanced combat with enemies that can kill you if you're not careful. With that being said, this is made in Game Maker, which makes it very impressive that they did such a very nice detail with such little bit of time. Where this game does fall short, unfortunately, is the fact that it is not very replayable. You beat it in 3 levels, which is actually pretty good for me, considering I didn't think I'd be in the first place. But unfortunately, after the 3 levels are over, there's really not much replay value in the game itself. Number 4. Forgiven. This is an RPG that reminded me of Earthbound when I first started playing it. However, after a little bit of playing it, I realized that it is actually a lot better than Earthbound. There is a timing mechanic which I didn't get at first, which caused me to die on the very first battle of the game, in which I had to actually press the button at the right time to actually attack the enemies. Failing to do that, you can actually be killed by the enemies, which is a very interesting twist on the hit or miss mechanic of RPGs. This also comes into play in Magic whenever you have to tap a button multiple times to cast a spell, and the more you tap it, the better the spell gets. The only downside, if you can call it that, is the storyline seems a bit cliche. You, a 15-year-old boy, suddenly discover you have powers and have to go on a quest to stop this great evil with 3 other people who have the extraordinary powers. However, the way they handle this makes it very endearing, and it makes me want to know what is going on and how we're going to accomplish this mission. Number 3. Nobody's Quest. The concept of this game is pretty straightforward. The main evil of the game took your body and left you as an invisible nobody. You did meet the queen, who tasked you with saving the people of the land and gives you a symbol of royalty. The game starts you as nothing with no skills or even people to talk to. It is up to you to build yourself from the ground up in the hopes of saving her kingdom and reclaiming your body from the evil. The game is pretty expensive with a work at your own pace theme. The only downside is it doesn't really give you a tutorial or map, forcing you to find out everything on your own. In hindsight, that may be perfect for this type of game though. Number 2. Duels and Chaos. This is a 2D fighting game in which a group of friends are given powers by a magical book whose name I can't quite pronounce. At the same time, a rock seems to crash into the earth, and many of the friends start exhibiting violent behavior, like they are being controlled by someone else. I almost feel like this is a bit of a fourth wall breakage aimed at the player, who is, of course, controlling them. You take control of one of the kids, who then tries to find out why the others are acting like this. The game looks quite beautiful, and you can tell time and effort was put into it. The downside is that there is no move list, so I found myself frantically flailing at the keyboard. Of course, this is how I play most fighting games anyways. Number 1. Raji, the Ancient Epic. If I can sum up this game in one word, it would be beautiful. A young lady named Raji sets out on a journey to save her little brother from horrible demons. To aid her in this, the gods give her a magical spear and tell her that the strength to use it must come from within. The art style of the game is simply gorgeous. Raji's movements are quite graceful, and the voice acting in this is really stunning. I found myself entranced by the world and story. The only hiccup I found in gameplay was learning combat, because many of the moves required timing, and a tutorial part wouldn't let you move on unless you'd mastered the skill you were trying to learn. However, that doesn't take away from the overall majesty that is this game, and it's well earned its spot as the number 1 in this season. There y'all have it, guys. This has been the final episode of Season 2. I'm sorry it took so long to get out. I was really busy trying to get things together and really fell behind the season, but we brought it together. We got it going. Season 2 is complete. We are going to be looking for Season 3 starting tomorrow. I'm going to be trying to record that and get it out as soon as I can. We're going to try to get back on that schedule and keep things going and going. We're still going for 4 videos a day, and we're going to be going for Monday through Friday. I realized that this week was a little honky-donk, but things like that happen, so that's what happens when you're developing a new channel. So, without further ado, let me let y'all know that I have now a Patreon that y'all can go and support the channel if y'all would like. The link will be on the description below. You can also follow me on Twitter. Once again, link in the description below, and you will have links to all the video games in this list. Well, the videos to those video games, so that you can go and check out the video itself, and then you can get the link from the video, and then you can play the game. Isn't it wonderful how things just go in a circle? Anyways, I will see y'all guys next time. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a like and subscribe for more videos in the future. Hit that notification bell to get up on all my videos as soon as I put them up, and I will see you in the next video. Outro screen. Thanks for watching, and remember, subscribe, check the links below. Come on back for another video.